Hope you're on good health mentally and physically as I move my drinks around, have water and coffee. Hope you're on a good weekend. Hope you're in good health. We're all doing good. We're gonna play Anna Jones, but before we get to Anna Jones, there's some discourse to talk about involving The Witcher 4 because, as expected, the incels, the weirdos, the losers, the chronically single, bitch-made, fatherless people are at it again, doing what they do best, which is talk out their ass and react to things in a very, very dumb way because they're losers, they're miserable. Nobody likes them other than the circle jerk of other freaking losers who hang around them. So the discourse is around Ciri being the main character or the main protagonist for Witcher 4. I haven't watched the video, but kind of just want to talk about it. Generally, I understand this when it comes to Witcher 4. Back in 2015, I think it was 15, when Witcher 3 came out, everyone knew Ciri would be the main character, and everyone was happy about it. Like there was no one, maybe like a small, very, very small minority of people who would prefer to still play as Geralt. But back in 2015, the way The Witcher ended and the way the story was telling, everyone was like expecting you to play as Ciri in the next game. It's just how the game story was like developing and how they would have dual missions where you would play as Ciri. So it just kind of like screamed, okay, she's the next main character, and everyone was fine with it. No one reacted negative to it. But as I always say, the way people react to women in games nowadays is a recent thing. 5 years ago, people didn't call things woke and DEI and things like that. This is a recent thing that people have been doing because they're losers. They have no life. And they just want to be angry. They want everyone else to feel miserable. They want to have rage bait, things like that. This is all like I also want to say is the boy who cried woke. The boy who cried wolf, like understand like the phrase "the boy who cried wolf," like he's saying wolf, 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 but there's no actual wolf. And by the time an actual shows up, no one believes him because they call it at all those wrong times. So you little bitches, the boys who cry DEI. In the time when there's like an actual, clearly obvious intent of a political agenda being made in a video game, no one's gonna believe you because you said and freaking called everything else woke that wasn't woke at all. Witcher 4 isn't woke. Guess what? Woke's not a real thing. It's not a real phrase. Well, it is, but not in the way that y'all use it. Again, for those who don't know, here's a history lesson. The term woke was something that Black people used during the Civil War in the Civil Rights Movement to talk about and pass messages between each other about the social injustice going on in America towards Black people. That's what the term woke comes from. It's a way of saying stay woke on my brother and be awake to white people freaking lying to you and things like that. That's what woke meant. It kind of got co-opted in like the late 80s, maybe like early 90s by hoteps. Hoteps are like Black conspiracy theorists. They're very, very pro-Africa, but not really. They walk around and just scream everything is about freaking, I'm not going to go to like a whole thing about hoteps because I'm going to do a video on YouTube. We're going to detail about the history of woke and its presence in gaming. But in like 2019, there was this guy, it might have been like 2020, but there was this guy who freaking got kicked out of a convention, and he started proclaiming he got kicked out because the left is in charge of the convention and they're being woke. So that took like flame on the internet. It's a bunch of basically a bunch of right-wing snowflakes they saw his post and just started going, we should just call everything that's progressive woke. Everything that's leftist but progressive. If it's progressive, it's woke. By the way, when it comes to Witcher books, all the Witcher books are progressive. The writer intentionally makes his books to be very, very left-leaning. That's just how the books are, and all the games are that way too. So if you call the Witcher 4 or any Witcher game progressive or woke, duh. They're progressive works of art, and in general, and this is a general statement, artwork is inherently progressive. There are some righties out there who do some artwork, but inherently throughout history, it's usually people who are left-leaning and pushing for progressive, progression that do art. So when it comes to Ciri, it's not new. They didn't make Ciri the protagonist because they want to get woman empowerment. It has nothing to do with that. They made Ciri the main character because that was what the story was going in the freaking third game that came out freaking 2015, and everyone's happy about that. you know. And by the way, for those who don't know, Witcher is one of my favorite franchises of all time. I got a bookshelf behind me that you can't see because of the chair. There's Witcher books on that bookshelf, you know. And also, by the way, my dynamic background for freaking my computer is literally Siri. So we're gonna watch the video and talk about you know the disc. We'll talk about Discourse, like just about the video itself. People were saying that they changed how she looks, that she looks ugly now. They made her look worse because they're trying to like desexualize women characters because, you know, dudes are weird. And it's like, if I came beat off to her, it's an ugly character. It's like, she doesn't look different at all. Like, the game takes place 10 years after the last game. So she looks a little older and her eyes are different. Why her eyes different? Because she's actually going through mutations. For those who don't know, Witcher 3, Ciri wasn't a fully a Witcher yet. She was still going through the processes of becoming a Witcher. You fully become a Witcher, your eyes change because you went through all the mutations. In this video, her eyes are different. She has, you know, the school of cat eyes. Her eyes are like a grayish color, which I'd imagine also comes from the fact that she's not 100% human. She has Elden blood. So that probably, like, going through also mutations in her being someone who's of Elden blood likely cause her eyes to look even more different than it was, like, compared to like Geralt's. Like Geralt's eyes, he has school of cat eyes and they're like yellow. Ciri's eyes in the last game were like a greenish color. Now they're gray. So I'd imagine it has a lot to do with mutations and how it affects with her Elden blood. So she doesn't look different at all. She just literally looks the same, just a little older. You know, if even that. Because it also pointed out, is someone called it someone said that she looks different because of the graphics. This is not a gameplay trailer. This is a cinematic trailer. So it's about on the screen. This is a cinematic trailer pre-rendered in Unreal Engine 5 on unannounced NVIDIA GeForce RTX GPU. In other words, this is made in engine. It's not the actual game's graphics. And it's made on like the 50 series cards, like probably like a 5080, a 5090.
Dearest daughter, I've watched ye grow from a devilishly curious child into a remarkably young lass with much grace, wisdom, and kindness. Take the easy times what shape us, nay. 'Tis how we rise to face the hard times what does that for us. You've an heart of gold. You've the spirit to overcome adversities aplenty. Darling, sweeten. Today's the day ye fill out your destiny.
I was watching the Game Awards, and this is Witcher immediately. Like, it was now, it's the visuals are like this because, you know, it has that Polish folklore look to it, but it's also just like the sound. It was like, yeah, this is definitely Witcher. Then it was like a dead giveaway when they showed the freaking blades. We already saw this trailer during the Game Awards because we actually did a stream of the Game Awards. Yeah, it's like this is another dead giveaway on what it being. Like, obviously when you see the word CD Projekt Red, you know it's freaking Witcher. Like, this whole situation is basically just they're offering up. I'd imagine she's a virgin. They're offering her up to a monster, so the monster will leave them alone. You know, say, hey, the monster. We have a deal with the monster. It'll leave us alone. It won't freaking, you know, fuck up the village. If, you know, maybe like one, I don't, we're speculating here because, you know, we don't know the freaking scene. But like maybe like once a year, once a month, they have to give up one of their daughters to the monster. You know, probably does like unspeakable things before killing him.
Forgive me, daughter. 'Twere my only choice.
I shall be the bringer of salvation.
It seems like she accepted her fate, even though Ciri's going to get involved in it. I think this guy is what happens, is what causes to happen like later. For those who haven't seen it, I'm not going to say what happens, but something happens involving the girl. I think he's the one who did it.
Witcher, whose coin did ye take? Nay, you can't. 'Tis tradition. Chosen she is, by the gods. No!
So like, you see her eyes, like how they're a little bit different. So she still has a little bit of that green in there because again, Ciri's eyes are like a green color. But like there's also like a little bit of that yellow from, again, what Geralt has yellow in his eyes as well because of mutations. Mutation turns your eyes a different color. She does have a little bit of residue of like green from her natural eye color, then the yellow from being due to mutations, and obviously the cat eyes because she's from the school of cat.
You chose her.
I haven't played Witcher 3 in a while, so I don't know if they changed her voice actor. Her voice does sound a little deeper. Yeah, she looks like she doesn't look different at all. Like that's like her actual freaking look. But even like I said, like it's been 10 years since the last game. So like end game, they'll probably have it be like 10 years. They'll have it be like 10 years since the actual game took place. So she does look a little older. And also like her makeup's different. It's like I'll show you. Like if you look at like her, it's like a post-production like picture. It's like look at her like in this image. This isn't like actual gameplay image, but like she has like the eye makeup on, where it's like now when she kind of looks, she doesn't really wear eye makeup, but she looks exactly the freaking same. It's like an end game one. This is with like mods too, so like she looks different a little bit in this too because of freaking mods. But she looks exactly the same. And look at this one. This one looks like it's not with a mod on. So if you can look at her right here and then look at her in like this scene, looks like the exact same person. They don't look different at all, other than they changed her eyes because she went through mutations. And again, just the advancement in graphics as well. Like I said, this is a 5090, 5080 more than likely, and it's just a cinematic versus it's actual gameplay.
Back to the village. Go, now.
Nay! I must save them! Save the village!
Save yourself! Run! To shelter! To your father! Run!
Also, like I kind of like just did think about that too. So remember I said that series was probably from the school of cat.
Save them!
That doesn't
Save
look like
the
like
village.
see, look at like Geralt. I'm trying to like get to the part where like, I showed a medallion. That doesn't look like a wolf medallion. It looks like a cat medallion. So she's not part of the same school as Geralt. Even though Geralt is the one who's like her father figure, her teacher. Let me see if I can show School of Wolf. So this is what the School of Wolf medallion looks like, at least for Geralt, what it looks like. That's how it looks for like the game. And then this is one that they had for the TV, the old Netflix series. Did they ever show the School of Cat medallion in the game? So one of the things as well, because I just saw it, was this picture. This was like 2 years ago, which is their first original teaser for the next game. They showed this medallion. There's a medallion that you see right here. Like they told you beforehand, like the series. But School of the Cat, like I said, I don't think there's ever been someone who showed a School of the Cat medallion in games. We don't know what it look like any game. Yeah, even he's not freaking wearing it. But I think that's a School of Cat. Garrett's School of Wolf. I think Sirius School of Cat.
Run! To shelter! To your father! Run!
mess up with a new monster type that says monster or something. I don't remember there being like a monster that looked like that in game. Might be like a new monster type. A lot of monsters are based off like Polish freaking folklore, Polish folklore. So it's probably like a monster that they've taken out of Polish folklore that's new to the game. I've never seen anything like that in any of the 3 Witcher games. That's how memory is shit.
Cannot be changed. You cannot change anything.
With that armor. I didn't notice that the first time during the Game Awards that that chain that she just like used. So are you gonna have like some kind of like not grapple hook, but like a way for you to pull yourself into enemies and maybe use it also like get away from enemies too? I remember that part. I remember the village, this tradition. I was chosen to bring salvation.
She were to go to the woods. The chosen one. His tradition.
Oh no, no, no.
She got stabbed. I think it was that one guy.
It's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods. To go
Also,
to
the thing about like
gods.
this scene is that The Witcher's always been about there being consequences, even to like good decisions. Like just thinking about like Bioware games. Bioware games have consequences, but it's usually like only for like the bad stuff. Like so you do something bad, there's consequence. If you do something good, there's not actually like a consequence to that. The Witcher have always been about even if you do the right thing, there's still a consequence to that right thing. You know? So for this scene, Ciri thinks she's doing the right thing by saving the girl from, you know, basically being given up as a ritual offering to the monster. But the consequence, there was a consequence to doing the right thing, where the girl still dies because the village feels like she has to die in order to protect the village. So instead of dying to the monster, she dies to one of the villagers. Which again, I think is them.
There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Looks phenomenal. The CD Projekt Red, of course, is going to be. Yeah, the Discourse is dumb. They didn't make her less attractive. She looks exactly alike, other than her eyes being changed because she's went through mutations. Yeah. So to you little weirdos out there who's calling this game woke and saying that they made her look ugly, get a life. Find your father. You need a father in your life. So that sounds like. Anyways, Indiana Jones time.